Well, joining me now to expatiate more on this is Professor Olu Ajakaye. Professor Olu Ajakaye, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Let's take quickly your assessment of the nation's economy at the moment.
The economy at the moment is in some kind of, if you like, tight situation from the point of view of dwindling, revenue to government, as you probably, as you know, not probably. The National Economic Council had to come out to say that actually what they are getting from federal account is not even enough for many states to cover their recurrent costs, even including salaries. So that shows how tight the fiscal position of government is. In the area of monetary policy, again, like you know very well, the effect of falling oil revenue on the monetary side is low, or if you like, less than desirable level of external reserve, which is the instrument that the monetary policy authorities have to defend the value of the naira. But in response to that, you can see that the monetary authorities are becoming very careful how they encourage the market to allocate the limited foreign reserve that we have into activities that are of immediate interest to Nigeria, discouraging import of, if you like, quote unquote, frivolous commodities, and encouraging those that we actually support production within our economy. In essence, discouraging import of finished goods and encouraging import of intermediate inputs. The economy is facing, structural challenges in terms of, weak infrastructural base, particularly power and transportation, and it's also facing, resource constraints in terms of inflow of revenue from oil. But what I can see is that government is aware of this, and I think they are making major efforts to manage the economy in this kind of difficult, environment we find ourselves. We only pray that sustaining the efforts to block leakages will help, ameliorate the otherwise, difficult condition we will have found ourselves.
Speaking of which, blocking leakages, stopping corruption and all of that, the TSA, Treasury Single Account, is supposed to address this. Do you think it will? There have been several concerns already.
Well, for me, I think the TSA is long overdue. Precisely, it is not that the initiative has not been on the drawing board or in fact implemented. We have done it 2 times in our history. We did it between 1988 and 1999, 10 years of more or less centralizing government finances in central bank. It was reversed at the end of 1999, and we went on and on back to the old order, where agencies keep all kinds of accounts with banks, and revenue coming into government gets stuck in some of the banks. And the banks then, of course, having this, if you like, zero cost money, then use it to trade. In trading, they are also trading in government instruments, which is a result of lack of precise information about the actual level of government fiscal posture. So when your money is scattered in all kinds of accounts, and you are looking at only a component of your account, you tend to think that you are actually in deficit, and you start issuing instruments. And they then use your money to buy your instrument. And they smile to their own shareholders and their own bottom line, like profit. Whereas actually, they are not doing much. If you know the challenge that the industries are facing in terms of the complaint we have been having over time, that banks are not lending to the real sector. There's no incentive for them to lend to the real sector because they can make money in an easy way. It's called lazy banking syndrome. So the TSA, the way it is now being done, very vigorously implemented under a more, if you like, committed government to national development, which I can see in this present administration, then you see that enforcement of that policy, both in the expenditure and revenue side, will give a more precise picture of government budget deficit. It will then do a number of things. First, it will remove the need for government to incur honestly high costs on the basis of fictitious or inaccurate budget deficit situation, and therefore issuance of government instruments at a cost to government. Secondly, it will also remove this opportunity for the deposit money banks to doing the best for themselves in an environment that encourages lazy banking. What I foresee will happen is therefore that the banks in the very immediate period will realize that you cannot make money the old-fashioned way. You have to earn it. And to earn it means you have to then be more aggressive in looking for, one, depositors, and two, people that will effectively and productively use the money through credit to generate a surplus from which they can get their own returns. In the meantime, doing so will create a more robust economy and therefore jobs, and therefore government revenue, and therefore those kind of linkages. The important thing is the banks will therefore see that it is in their interest not only to give credit and wait for you to collapse and start taking your collaterals. They will see that it is in their interest to work with you to succeed and therefore make profit, and out of that profit they get their own interest payment remitted to them.
Agriculture, really, a lot of people have drummed up the fact that agriculture could be a mainstay for the country. Do you see us getting there?
Yes, we are moving. Agriculture remains. It's not because of could be. It is, in the sense that as at now, it is the source of employment for, like I said, a large proportion of Nigerian labor force. But it's just that a lot of the people working there are not paid, adequately.
Infrastructure could be a problem too?
It's infrastructure and research to improve productivity. You see, what we see is that our farmers or people in agriculture, including livestock, forestry, and fishing, they are still using fairly rudimentary technologies. Yes. Meanwhile, our research institutes are there. They need to be supported, number one, to produce more technologies that respond to the demands of our farmers and of our livestock production activities and of our fishing and forestry products, but also be able to extend these technologies down to the end users through appropriate extension facilities. Once those are there, then what we need to do to support that process in terms of financing, other policies that will support them to be able to do the best for themselves in that kind of environment, we then follow.
Okay, just hold on with your thoughts. Of course, we need to understand everything involved, intricacies involved in this particular sector. We're still with Professor Olu Ajakaye, the immediate past president, Nigeria's Economic Society. Join us again for more of the nation's economy.
The president has been very clear on this. The vice president has been very clear on this. And let me further reiterate our position at the Central Bank of Nigeria that we are not considering any further depreciation of the currency. What we are trying to concentrate on right now is how to improve and deepen the foreign exchange market by improving supply of foreign exchange into the market. And to do so, we are trying to encourage people to export and earn your export proceeds and use your export proceeds to import whatever you need to import. We are also concentrating on how to reduce the import of items that we can produce in the country today. So that's our focus, I'm saying, and very soon the Central Bank of Nigeria will be launching a campaign which we call Project PAVE. PAVE means produce locally, add value, and export your products and earn your foreign exchange for your imports, because this is the only way we can support the efforts of Central Bank of Nigeria in intervening and providing foreign exchange in the market to meet the import needs of our people. And it is very clear, all we need to do is reduce our propensity to import, but we will not depreciate our currency. For now, we will not.